The larger of the crocodiles raised his head as we drew close. "Ah," it said, "you must be Inspector Hobbes. I'll be with you in a moment." I was so startled that, forgetting my panic, I stood still as a statue, gaping like an idiot, until a chubby little man, red-faced, dressed in a dishevelled safari suit, stood up abruptly from behind the wall, seized the smaller croc by the tail, and plunged a syringe into it. The beast thrashed and snapped, but the man had moved on. Sauntering away, he climbed back over the wall, dropping the syringe into a yellow plastic box. "A jab well done," he said, rubbing his hands together, chuckling at his own joke. "I'm Francis Cat, the director. How may I help you?" "I'm sorry to disturb you, sir," said Hobbes, "but have you lost any cats?" "Felines, nothing more than felines," Mr. Cat sang in a wavering tenor, and grinned. "No, we haven't lost any. Have you found some?" "Possibly," said Hobbes, "according to Mr. Niblet." "Will that be Skeleton Bob Niblet?" "Yes," said Hobbes. "I take it that you know him." "Oh, yes. He's turned up here several times recently, fretting that we'd lost a black panther. We haven't, of course. The only thing we've ever lost is a grass snake." I couldn't stop myself from looking around, preparing to run. Grass snakes, I knew, were mostly harmless, but they were still snakes. "Do you think," asked Hobbes, "that he was making it up?" Mr. Cat thought for a moment. "I wouldn't go so far as to say that, but he always seemed to run across big cats on Friday nights, and Ellen, you've met my secretary, she lives not far from him and says he's usually rolling drunk on Friday evenings." "I see," said Hobbes. Mr. Cat continued, "I'm not saying he's lying deliberately, but I wouldn't rely on him. He's not so bright at the best of times. With a skinful of beer, well, I think it's likely that he's just seen a normal black moggy and blown it up out of all proportion." "That would seem likely," said Hobbes, nodding. "Still, while we're here, would you mind if we took a look at your big cat? What have you got?" Mr. Cat, escorting us from the reptile house, took us along a dusty path, past groups of happy visitors, heading for the cats. "We've got lions," he said, "Tony, the lonesome tiger, and a pair of leopards. You might find them interesting. Zoologically speaking, they are synonymous with panthers, the so-called black panthers merely being melanistic variants. We have a couple of fine specimens, but they're safe in their pen. Anyway, even if they did escape, they wouldn't get far. Leopards are always spotted." He sniggered like a schoolboy. "By the way, did you know lions are so called because they're always lying around?" "Huh," I said, and to distract him pointed towards a pen where some white birds with long beaks were standing round a pond. "Are those storks?" "No, they're egrets. Egrets, I've had a few, but then again too few to mention." I sighed. We were passing the rhino enclosure when Hobbes stopped walking. I continued, chatting to Mr. Cat. "What's a melanistic variant?" I asked, more as an attempt to halt his little jokes than because of a thirst for knowledge. "It's merely an animal that possesses an increased amount of black or dark pigmentation. Interestingly enough, it can occur in many felines, and it's not generally known, but—" "How dangerous are rhinoceroses?" asked Hobbes, frowning. Mr. Cat looked puzzled. "The rhinos? They're not really dangerous at all, so long as they're confined to their enclosure and we're safely out here. Why do you ask?" "I wondered if that little girl was safe," said Hobbes. "What? Oh, hell," Mr. Cat groaned. The child was running through the enclosure, presumably having squeezed under the wire and clambered across a ditch. She was heading for her sun hat, which must have blown off. One of the rhinos raised its head, staring, ears twitching, ambling towards her. The other, looking up, trotted after it.